Max Atkinson.
And how old are you?
I'll be 65 in 2 months.
2 months. Good age. First surfboard.
Well, the polystyrene bodyboard thing is, that's how far back.
Is that where you got interested, or was it just a body surfing sort of thing?
Yeah, I had a batch at party
Yeah.
when I was preschool.
Yeah.
And naturally went over to Ocean Beach in Frogtown and had swims, and
Yeah.
you know, you got bowled over, and next thing you know you were surfing along on your belly, and then little polystyrene boards come along and
Yeah.
bought them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I guess that was the big.
Yeah. So first real surfboard, was that the board you've still got now? Or?
Dunlop, yeah, it was
Yeah.
the first
So did you get that brand new, or? Yeah.
from where the cycle shop is now. It was Drummond's. Remember when Drummond's moved out of Cameron Street?
Yeah.
Down to onto the corner there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had them there. I think. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it.
Yeah. Just walked in and said, "I'll have that surfboard."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I walked in several times and then saved up for it, of course.
Yeah. So when you had you been surfing before you bought that surfboard, or did you just?
I probably had, otherwise I would have gone to the expense.
Yeah.
Would have been out the beach.
At patio again? Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time, early in the early days, it was patio.
Yeah.
Because
Did you surf the bar out there, or? Yeah. No leg ropes?
hell no. You wouldn't want them on a 9-foot board anyway.
Tarahi Surf Club. I know you were tied up with that, but did you went to those first meetings sort of thing?
Yeah,
didn't
pretty
it?
much, yeah, from
And
memory.
Were you on the committee, or some of the committees, or?
I'm not sure, Laurie, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But certainly you had the shorts.
Yeah.
Honey made me proper shorts and
Yeah.
got all the magazines. I don't know if I got them at home, or I might have lent them to you one time. I don't.
Yeah, well, actually got all the magazines, so I've got that. You wrote a neat story about a
Sparrow killers.
Yeah. Any funny stories that stand out? Something stupid that you're surfing, something you've seen, or anything that stands out, or a couple, or?
Only what you mentioned the other night was
Well,
one of them. when
you want to tell us about that?
We had an old I think it was an Austin 840, an old big round thing with Austin of England on the front, and I actually bought it off Kelly Tull.
Oh yeah,
He was working with, my dad was working with him on the P&T at the time.
Yeah.
And he got a warrant for it, obviously. But whether it should have been warranted or not, I don't know. But I did pick Laurie up to go surfing at Sandy Bay, and we went down the hill, and I figured out the brakes weren't probably what they should have been. Sure enough, turned on the grass, kept going over the bank onto the beach, put it into first, and just kept the foot down and ground our way back up onto the beach, hopped out rather nonchalantly, and went surfing. like we'd meant to do it.
It amazes me because in the middle of summer there'd be people sunbathing there, and now there's about a 5-foot drop, and you would have wiped your car out.
Yeah.
But that's just how it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wetsuits. Did you have a wetsuit when you were surfing in those
No,
days?
I never had a wetsuit ever.
Yeah. And did you surf right through winter? Yeah. Just got toughed it out and.
No
Yeah.
brain, no pain, I suppose. Must have been hit on the head with a board a few times.
Best ride one day when you're out there and everything was perfect. Does anything stand out?
Probably A-Par. I mean, once you got on there, you went for miles. I mean, you got a ride for as long as you wanted to walk your board around the rocks, basically.
Yeah.
No quads and four-wheel drives in them days. You just walked around when you got tired, jumped in wherever you were and rode back to the beach.
So you went up to Shippies quite a bit?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It wasn't uncommon to be at Sandy Bay with no surf and just take off and end up at Shippies for.
So who did you actually? I know that you surfed with me a bit, but who were the other guys you hung out and surfed with a bit? Because it seemed to be lots of little groups, and those guys stuck together. So we all knew each other, but they just went their own way. So
it was mainly yourself. So Murray Jack, Mark Tate.
Yeah. But everyone sort of knew everyone, didn't
Oh,
they?
yeah. I mean, you got to the beach and everybody was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably you guys, say you guys and Mark when you were around.
Do you know roughly what year you bought that surfboard, or you really got interested into surfing?
I probably would have been working, I think.
Yeah.
And I started working January '65. So
65, yeah.
it would have been maybe around that time.
Yeah.
If I really looked at home, I probably still got the receipt. I do keep a lot of shit though.
Did you have any surf heroes in those days? Who did you sort of look up to?
All our language?
No. Bullshit.
Nah. No, I don't know really, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't your Super 15s and stuff like that. The media wasn't the same.
Yeah, we were all probably a similar standard, wasn't it? You know, so
Yeah.
we were all, yeah. Any surf accidents that you can remember? You're one of the lucky ones?
Sore elbows from falling on the board and having the ski hit you in the elbow, got some
Yeah.
flat patches there.
Yeah.
You know, blood nose and things, but nothing serious.
Yeah.
Never really got hurt.
Where did, I can remember we went and you'd look for surf. Some of those beaches, does anywhere stand out where you didn't really know there was surf, you went for it and found some? Is anywhere that you particularly liked going to, some special beach or something for surfing, or was it just
Some were better than others, obviously, like Woolies Bay, for example, always had a big swell, but it never sort of broke nicely. Sandy Bay was better.
Yeah.
Even Matapuri on a great big swell off the corner by the river mouth there, you could get quite a good ride.
It is a good ride here, yeah.
Nunnery Bar was too far to paddle and drag me board. I used to
Yeah.
drag me board right round there one time when we were staying at the shop, and it wore the back, sandpapered the back off it, right down to the
I
bloody...
can remember that,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, us guys, I was talking about the surf trip we did around New Zealand, and I think it was 66, 67, and I was amazed that
Christmas, yeah.
I was probably only 16 or 17, and that our parents just let us go, and away we went, and we were gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was
and,
2 weeks holiday, I think.
Yeah, but we had a lot of good fun. I don't think we had an argument, so it was
No,
good trip.
nothing serious. Yeah,
No,
it was
yeah.
brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up staying in the staff quarters of the hotel in Wellington.
Yeah,
Because
because
we
I
couldn't
don't know
find
why
anywhere else.
Wellington was booked out, wasn't it?
Yeah, something was happening. It was Christmas, New Year's, I suppose,
Yeah.
around about that time.
Yeah. I always remember that we spent New Year's Eve in Napier, and
Oh, yeah.
that was can you remember that night? It was the people were kissing the cops. Everyone was really a happy mood. And the next day we went to Gisborne and they had a bit of a riot or something there, and there was 2 days later there was broken bottles and lights, and I couldn't figure out why that had happened. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
stayed a little bit out of town, didn't we, in Napier, because we had walked
Yeah.
quite a way.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that might be what they call Kennedy Park now.
Oh yeah.
Top 10, it's a little way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're young and fit like we were.
I think it was way inland. So
Yeah, towards
yeah.
Taradale. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they call Kennedy Park.
So your favourite beach when you're surfing, have you got where you went to most of the time? What?
No, well, yeah, I mean, it depended. If the waves are good, it was good. I mean, anywhere like Para was obviously the best,
Yeah.
really the best surf. Raglan was great, but I only had one ride there, and I had to swim ashore, and my board got smashed on the rocks. It was the only ride I ever got there. So that's not my
I
favourite.
think you saved us, because I think you saved, when we fell off, you saved our boards from going on the rocks, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
could have done too.
Yeah.
I was already sitting there.
So I know you got
Not on a party, probably,
yeah,
because it was closer.
yeah, and you lived out there, eh?
Well, we had a bachelor for a
Bachelor,
long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Or Sandy's, because we stayed at the shop. And
Well, I can remember a funny story, and I might just, we used to spend a lot of time in that part of the river hunting stingrays and stuff with big spears, and I can remember going up with you there, and we had a little bit of trouble with the outboard. Can you remember that?
Yep. Oh, along the road, and we made a harpoon out of an old spearfishing spear on a pipe.
Yeah. And we spent hours doing that, wouldn't we? Yeah.
You know, we got one we actually got into the Advocate, it was like 100 odd pounds.
That's huge,
And
eh?
it towed us around all over the party on the river, eh?
Now, I know you got two lovely daughters. Did they ever take up surfing or not really?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Probably some. How many grandchildren you got?
3.
Three, and hopefully one of them will get into it one day.
My son-in-law Stephen, they got 2 boys, 15 and the youngest one will be 13 this year.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time at Tarakura. Steve
Oh, yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
used to surf a lot, and I don't think the boys are that interested at the moment. You've
Yeah.
got sea biscuits and God knows what to.
Yeah.
And they're right into motocross and stuff, so I don't know if they'll go surfing.
I think kids nowadays have got a lot more interest. So,
Oh, hell.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, how many, did you only have the one surfboard and you've still got it? So,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
I've got a couple of old ones. I think one of them belonged to Des Green,
yeah,
but it's a funny little wee one, eh?
yeah, yeah,
It was small for its time, but
yeah.
it's still at home here, I don't know. But yeah, no, I never really owned a lot of.
Yeah,
I was more a recreational surfer like I was a rugby player.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Kept trying.
Yeah, just there for the fun. And
Yeah,
where we'd go surfing in the morning at Waipoo Cove if we happened to be playing rugby at Waipoo in the afternoon, and we'd go and have a game of rugby and straight back out to the beach.
yeah,
I mean, it was great to be young and fit.
yeah, yeah. Now, I just something that Jack did to mine. When you went to places like Shippies and you'd stay the weekend, what'd you live on? What'd you take with
Beer
you?
and Adams Bruce's peanut brownies.
And that was it.
Baked beans and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Tins of baked beans.
You get the mussels there and cook them up and that sort of thing.
And
Yeah.
light a little fire with an old tin or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty basic.
yeah,
Pretty simple.
yeah. You've got a pie or something if you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who, yeah. Too Wordley. What did you think of him when you were surfing?
Well, he probably was one of the icons, I guess, that you
Yeah.
mentioned before that I couldn't think of their name.
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was sort of the king of the waves, I guess,
Yeah,
at the time.
And Ross Edge and those
Ross,
guys. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, gosh, it's a long time ago.
He's still making surfboards.
Ross?
Yes,
Yes,
70, still making.
I was going to say, he's pretty old.
Yeah, yeah. Still into. He's got a pacemaker and he's still into it.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant, though.
So tell me, you talked about, was that your first car, that car that went on the beach at Sandy Bay? Yeah. So what did you get after that?
I got an Austin A35.
Yeah.
Had that for a few years. In fact, I had that one when I got married.
Yeah. Was that the one you did a bit of rallying or cross country?
Oh, yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Hill climbing here.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was just, wasn't that competitive, but it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. And you had a motorbike too at one stage too.
Yeah, yeah, before I bought the Austin, I had a 650 Triumph, but I kept falling off that.
Yeah.
And it was too heavy for me to pick up, so.
And a bit hard to strap your surfboard on the side of it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I guess I wasn't surfing at that stage either, you know, like seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, well, I bought a little motorbike off you, a Honda 90 or
Oh
50,
yeah, 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 yeah,
which I used for work when the kids were little, so
yeah,
you only had the car during the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just something. When we did this North Island trip, I'm sure it was 1966. Can you remember that tent we had? Did
Yeah.
did we go halves in that or quarters?
Yeah, it was quarters, yeah.
Man, that lasted a long time.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Well, I had it last. Oh, have you got it? Did I give it back to you?
I haven't seen it for. I don't
No,
know.
I- it's not at home.
We had it by now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a zip put in it at one stage,
Yeah.
rather than lace up the front, because when my kids were little, we used to camp and used it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
We're just a big old Hembig
Nine
canvas
by nine,
tent. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know where we got it for, how we got it, got no idea. Murray Jack might
Murray
have
might have found it,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't remember either. But it served the purpose.
yeah, it did, yeah. I don't know what else to ask you. Anything stands out on that trip? What made you write that story, The Sparrow Killers, or was it just part of a diary?
It was just
or-
a diary, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we got back, I have tended to do that, you know, with yachting trips and things.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the later year, boat
Yeah.
trips and things. And even a few videos of summer boat trips up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
coast
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But I don't know, just a diary, so you look back on
Yeah,
it and
yeah,
years later, and you do tend to remember things that
yeah,
you've
yeah,
forgotten.
yeah. I know we went to a couple of socials and things, but you read the story, it sounds like we just went to the pictures every town we did, but we probably did, but...
Yeah, I think the movie's got
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
well frequented,
yeah. So it was all good fun.
yeah. Well,
Um, I don't know what else, I think that's about it. I
like you
can't
say,
think.
it was a at the time it was a big journey.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
around East Cape and all that.
It was miles
Bay
and
and
miles.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was saying the other day, where we stayed at Hicks Bay, like you'd come down to the Hicks Bay sort of on the left, and we went round to the right, and there was some rocks and then another little bay,
Yeah, yeah.
and where the rocks were, there was a flat area on top, and we put the tent up there and then just walked down to the beach.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually Hicks Bay that we were surfing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Laurie and I went around there a couple of years ago around the East Cape, and we stayed in a motel up the hill.
Yeah.
And I drove down to there and round the corner, and where we camped, there was a house.
Yeah.
And then in the bay itself, there'd probably be 20 or 30 batches, houses, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't been back in it.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
I had
40
neither.
plus years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one place that I said to Maureen that I really wanted to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And another one was Castle Point.
Oh yeah,
We went out
yeah.
because I can remember being there and the lighthouse and all that.
Yeah,
So a couple of years ago when we were on a bit of a trip around the country, around the North Island, I insisted on going there.
yeah.
And it's built up to hang now. There's houses everywhere.
Something that.
It's a lovely spot actually.
Yeah, it is. Now, did we go to Cape Kidnappers or something?
Yes, we walked out from Napier.
Did we catch a shark? Like I remember.
Yeah.
Can you remember anything about it? I can't remember it much.
Yeah, we walked along the beach because we didn't have enough money to take the trip.
Yeah.
And the shark was swimming along the beach, and we grabbed a hold of the stones and pelted the shit out of it. And I think we might have knocked it out.
Did we caught it?
I'm pretty sure we pulled it ashore. Yeah.
It was a hell of a long walk, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Took most half the day.
Yeah, well the tide was right, otherwise we wouldn't have made it. Yeah, it's a long way out. Yeah.
That just sprung to mind. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was all part of that journey.
Yeah.
And surfing the Wanganui River and the Party River mouths.
Yeah.
By an old wharf there, that was quite cool.
Yeah. We did have a good surf. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, well I missed it at the time too. I mean, looking back.
I think it was an exciting time. Everyone was pretty friendly. I can't remember any fights or anything amongst the guys. And
things were safe. Then you could leave your tent up and bugger off for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I never thought anything about it. So you go to town on a Friday night with most of the boys and hang out on the main street?
Yeah, we would have.
Yeah.
On Cameron Street.
Yeah.
See, one thing I remember at Brisbane, there was an old prison, and the camping ground was part of the old prison, and it was all.
Oh yeah.
Like the cells, I think, were basically where you put your tent.
So blocks, yeah.
Like the walls are only weren't full height walls anymore.
Yeah.
But that was right opposite the beach.
Yeah.
There's an old, I think it might be part of the original thing still there.
Yeah.
And the history of the prison and everything just off the beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had a look at that.
Yeah.
Last time we were down that way.
Yeah, I haven't been back that way for ages. Oh, and I'll have to go.
Yeah, it's a fascinating place.
Yeah.
And one non-surfing thing I do remember was you were staying at our place in town, and you had, I'm not sure, I had the A35, I'm not sure what you had, it might have been your Maury.
Maury Minor, yeah.
And we were going down O-Type Road, because we lived off O-Type Road.
Yep.
Over the bridge before you get on to where Tauriua Road comes out.
Yep.
It had been raining, and I was following you home to our place, and next thing you were doing a 360 with the handbrake. So I thought, oh, I can do that too. So I vaguely remember the 2 cars, truck and trailer, doing 360s over that bridge, going home, straighten up and home. I was thinking about that the other night after I was talking.
Boy races.
Yeah, in an Austin A35 and a Morris Minor.
Oh dear. That's brilliant. That'll do us, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else there, but it was just, I think it was the time and the era, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As you say, it was, you were safe, you could leave stuff lying around.
Yeah.
Totally different to nowadays, you know. I don't even like going into town at night to dinner or something, you know.
No.
Park your car and feel nervous about walking back, but hey.
It's a different era, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Cheers, mate.